A Chinese car company just built an engine that gets 106 m per gallon. Guinness World Records flew in, tested it, and made it official. That's not a typo. That's not a concept car sitting behind velvet ropes at some futuristic expo. That is a real car already rolling off a production line you could theoretically drive from New York to Chicago and barely dent a tank of gas. Now, to put that in perspective, the average new car sold in America today gets somewhere between 28 and 35 miles per gallon. The Toyota Prius, the car that basically invented the word fuel efficient in most people's minds, gets around 57 m per gallon in the city. 106 mpg gallon is nearly double that. And the company behind it isn't Toyota. It isn't Honda. It isn't Ford or General Motors. It's a Chinese company called GEELY. And if you've never heard that name before, don't worry, because by the end of this video, you will never forget it. If this is the kind of story you love, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss one. We cover the tech shifts that most people don't notice until it's too late. Because here's what makes this even wilder. The man behind this company started with $3,000 and a factory making refrigerator parts. The engine itself does something that Formula One engineers have spent billions trying to crack. Technology is already heading into cars sold in Europe and America through brands you absolutely music recognize. By the time this video is over, you'll understand why every major automaker on Earth is quietly paying very close attention right now. The farmer's son who wouldn't quit. To understand why this moment is so significant, you have to go back to 1963 to a small farming village in Jiangxi province in China. That's where Li Shufu was born, the son of a farmer in a part of the country where nobody was dreaming about car engines or world records. In 1986, Li Shufu borrowed about $3,000 from his family music and opened a tiny factory. He wasn't building anything glamorous. He was making parts for refrigerators. Small, unglamorous, functional work. But he was obsessed with building things, and he had a quality that would define his entire career. He simply refused to music stop. By 1994, he had moved into motorcycles. Then in 1997, he made the announcement that made people laugh out loud. He said he was going to build cars. He had no experience in the auto industry. He had no factory set up for it. No engineering pedigree, no major investors, no industry connections. When reporters pushed him on how hard building a car actually was, he reportedly said something along the lines of, "A car is just 4 wheels and 2 couches." People thought he was out of his mind. Industry insiders shook their heads and moved on. But Li Shufu didn't move on. In 2001, Music, his company GE, became the first private Chinese company ever licensed to manufacture automobiles in China. That alone was a historic milestone, but Li Shufu was just getting started. In 2007, he wrote a letter to Ford Motor Company offering to buy Volvo. Ford ignored him completely. He showed up at the Detroit Auto Show in 2008 and tried again in person. Ford brushed him off again. So, he came back in 2009 more prepared, more persistent, and more serious than ever. And in 2010, the farmer's son from Jiangxi province walked out of Ford's headquarters Music with Volvo in his pocket. $1.8 billion in cash. The automotive world was stunned. This was not supposed to happen. Volvo was a European institution, a brand with decades of prestige, and a Chinese startup with no pedigree had just bought it outright. But Li Shufu didn't stop there either. In 2018, he purchased nearly 10% of Daimler, the company that owns Mercedes-Benz, making him the single largest individual shareholder of one of the most iconic luxury car brands on the planet. Think about that for a moment. The kid from the farming village who got laughed at for thinking he could build cars became the biggest shareholder in Mercedes-Benz. Today, Geely Group owns Volvo, Polestar, Lotus, Lynk & Co., and several other brands across multiple continents. The hustle is real. The portfolio is enormous. And the engineering ambition that drove all of it is exactly what produced the engine we're about to talk about. But before we get to the engine, we need to understand the problem it's solving, because that context is what makes the achievement so much more impressive. Why the just go electric answer isn't that simple. Electric cars were supposed to be the clean, simple answer to everything. And in many ways, they represent genuinely exciting technology. But living with one day-to-day has turned out to be more complicated than the advertisements suggest. And the cracks have been showing for a while now. Start with charging. It involves massive open pit mines, significant environmental disruption, and in the case of cobalt in particular, serious concerns around human rights conditions in the regions where it's mined. These aren't fringe concerns. They're documented music, ongoing issues that the industry is still working through. On top of all of that, the electrical grid in the United States was not built to handle tens of millions of electric vehicles all charging at the same time. The Department of Energy has been raising flags about grid capacity for years. Upgrading the grid is a long, expensive, complicated project, and it's nowhere near finished. None of this means electric cars are bad or that they don't have a real future. They absolutely do. But it does mean that for hundreds of millions of people around the world right now today, an electric car is not a seamless upgrade. It's a trade-off that requires real lifestyle adjustments. So the question becomes, what if there's a middle path? What if instead of asking everyone to completely change how they refuel, charge, music, and plan their trips, someone figured out how to squeeze so much efficiency out of a traditional engine that the old rules basically stopped applying? That's exactly the question GEELY set out to answer. And the answer they came back with is something the industry genuinely did not see coming: the engine that rewrote the record books. In April of 2026, at the Beijing Auto Show, GEELY took the stage and announced what they call the iHEV Intelligent Hybrid System. The centerpiece of it is a new engine called the BHE15. It's a 1.5L four-cylinder engine. That's a small engine by any measure, the kind of displacement you'd normally find in a basic economy car. Electric cars were supposed to be the clean, simple answer to everything, but living with them has proven more complicated than expected. Charging still takes time even on fast chargers, often 20 to 40 minutes to reach 80%. Cold weather can cut range by 30 to 40%, turning a 300-mile estimate into something far lower in winter conditions. Battery replacements can cost $10,000 to $20,000 or more, and the supply chain behind batteries depends on lithium, cobalt, and nickel, materials tied to mining impacts and environmental and ethical concerns. On top of that, power grids in many countries were not built to support millions of electric vehicles charging simultaneously, making large-scale adoption a major infrastructure challenge. None of this means electric cars are failing. They're not. But it does mean there's still a gap between ideal conditions and everyday reality. That gap is exactly where GEELY focused its attention. Instead of forcing a full switch to electric, they asked a different question. What if a combustion engine could become so efficient that it changed the equation entirely? In April 2026 at the Beijing Auto Show, GEELY revealed its iHEV Intelligent Hybrid System, built around a new one, 5L four-cylinder engine called the BHE15. A small engine by displacement, but engineered in a way that pushed fuel efficiency to record-breaking levels and challenged long-held assumptions about how far internal combustion technology could still go.